Discipline is usually presented as something clean, organized, motivational, positive. But real discipline, the kind that actually shapes power, is not pretty. It is dark, silent, and often misunderstood. Most people fail not because they lack talent, or intelligence, or opportunity. They fail because they cannot govern themselves. And according to Machiavellian psychology, a man who cannot rule himself will never rule his circumstances. Dark discipline begins where comfort ends. It does not rely on motivation, because motivation is emotional, and emotions are unstable. It relies on something colder: control. Most people wait to feel ready. They wait to feel inspired. They wait to feel confident. But power does not wait for feelings. Power moves regardless of how you feel. Machiavellian discipline is not about enthusiasm. It is about obedience to your own command. You act because you decided, not because it feels good. And this single difference separates leaders from followers. The disciplined man does not negotiate with himself every morning. He does not ask, "Do I feel like doing this today?" He asks only one question: "Did I decide to do this?" And if the answer is yes, the action follows. No drama, no inner debate. This is why discipline feels dark, because it demands that you silence the part of you that seeks comfort, validation, and excuses. Most people are ruled by that part. Machiavelli understood something brutal. Mercy toward your own weakness creates tyranny over your future. Every time you excuse yourself, you strengthen the habit of disobedience, and habits are destiny. Dark discipline is built on predictability, not predictability for others, but for yourself. You must become someone who does what he says he will do, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. Most people behave well under observation. They collapse in private. The disciplined man is the opposite. His private standards are higher than his public image. This is why discipline creates authority, because authority is not declared. It is felt. People sense when a man is internally governed. His words carry weight. His silence carries even more. Dark discipline also means restraint. You do not react to everything. You do not explain yourself to everyone. You do not express every emotion. Expression without control is weakness disguised as honesty. Machiavellian discipline teaches emotion is information, not instruction. Just because you feel anger does not mean you act. Just because you feel fear does not mean you retreat. You observe emotions. You do not obey them. This emotional restraint creates psychological distance, and distance creates power. People cannot manipulate what they cannot read. Most men leak their intentions through words. They talk too much. They promise too early. They explain too often. The disciplined man moves silently. He lets results speak. This silence unsettles others, because uncertainty creates respect. When people do not know your limits, they tread carefully. Dark discipline is also about delayed reward. Most people want pleasure now and pay the price later. The disciplined man accepts pain now to control outcomes later. He chooses discomfort strategically. This is not masochism. It is investment. Short-term pain for long-term leverage. Machiavelli warned against indulgence. A man who indulges himself teaches the world that he can be controlled. If you cannot deny yourself, others will deny you respect. Dark discipline also applies to identity. You are not what you feel. You are not what you desire in the moment. You are what you repeatedly enforce. Discipline is not an act. It is a system, and systems outlast emotions. This is why discipline creates freedom, because when your actions are consistent, your outcomes become predictable, and predictability gives you control. Most people confuse freedom with comfort, but comfort enslaves. Discipline liberates, because it removes inner chaos. A disciplined man does not seek approval. Approval weakens discipline. The need to be liked forces compromise, and compromise erodes authority. Machiavellian discipline teaches something cold. It is better to be respected than understood. Understanding does not protect you. Respect does. This does not mean cruelty. It means clarity, clear boundaries, clear standards, clear consequences. Even for yourself, you punish your own disobedience early, so life does not punish you later. That is dark discipline. And if this way of thinking feels uncomfortable, That is because it removes excuses. It leaves no one to blame. Not society, not luck, not circumstances, only you. But if this perspective sharpens something in you, if it feels like it speaks to a part that wants control rather than comfort, then continuing with this kind of content and subscribing is not about following a channel. It is about reinforcing a mindset that most people avoid. Dark discipline is not loud. It is not inspirational. It is quiet, relentless, and effective. You do not announce discipline. You demonstrate it over time. And eventually, the world adjusts to you.